Hello. Welcome, everyone. Did the music get you feeling the vibe? I want you to feel the vibe of being unstoppable because you are. Welcome to today's training. For those of you who are just meeting me, I'm Patty Keating. I'm the founder of the Entrepreneur Unleashed, and I mentor, and I am on a mission to serve powerful women entrepreneurs who are building brands that are based on years of brilliance, of wisdom, and bringing those brands out to serve more people, to get their message out, and to really enhance their leadership. So if you're joining me, say hello. If you're on the replay, say hi, say replay. I am recovering, I'm going to tell you, from a virus that took my voice out. So I'm a little quieter than usual, but I think everything will be fine. I might sound a little different for those of you who know me. Hi, Deb. Hello. Good to see you. Diane, you're here. Awesome. Hi. Hello. Lisa, you made it. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. And Michelle, hi, Michelle. Patricia's here, and Sandy's here. I see a few more of you are popping on. Welcome. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So, everyone's out here trying to really crack the code on client acquisition and on content, how to get our message out, how to be seen in a marketplace that continues to get noisier and continues to expand. And so a lot of people are focusing on the algorithm. How do I get more eyes on my content? And I have a question for you. What if the real code isn't the algorithm? What if it's what's inside of you? Because just like your body has DNA, your business has a code. I call it your entrepreneur code. And when you unlock that, you don't have to try so hard to be visible. You don't have to try to be magnetic. You don't even have to try to be strategic because you become your message. And that's what I want to show you here today, how you can apply this in your marketing. Not how to work harder, not how to what's the latest trends. I think we're kind of over that. But how to build a business from the truth of who you are. Because when you lead with that, when you lead with your truth, you captivate the attention of the right people. And attention is the new currency. You're either spending your attention, consuming, scrolling, or you're receiving attention, being bold, sharing a message. So ask yourself right now, which am I? I think we all kind of can go back and forth, right? Am I a consumer or am I a leader? This is what I call your E-code, short for the entrepreneur code. And it's the foundation of everything I teach. There's 4 parts to it. I'm going to cover those quickly for you today. Number 1, code is the acronym. C is for your core values. What do you stand for? Do you know your top 5 core values? It's what you embody. It's the thing that causes you to feel great joy when your values are being honored. It's the thing that causes you to feel frustration, stuck, pain when your core values are being dishonored. And people feel those from you. Your core values are your market value. And when you align with your values, people trust you before you even say a word. The O in code is for opportunity. These are the moments you've lived, the experience you've gained, the turning points that shaped your life, your work, your experience, your wisdom. They become the stories that attract your people and build your brand. D is for destiny. That's your life path, your soul work, the deeper purpose beneath your business, the thing that you know you're here to do. When you build from destiny, you stop looking around and start looking within. And then E is for energy. That's how you're wired to create. That's how you're wired to market and lead. It's your rhythm. It's your resonance. And when you honor it, you can scale without burning out because you're being true to who you are. So when your core values, your opportunities, your destiny, and your energy are all together and aligned, then you grow with simplicity, power, and truth. So we're going to talk about growth today. I set this up to let you know this is the core of everything I'm going to teach you today. So let's dive in to the first part. Hang on a minute. I'm letting some people in. All right. Okay, so let's dive in. I've got a lot to teach you today. We're going to start with the CEO method of enrollment, and then we're going to move through the other components about how to captivate with social media, how to curate the right people, and all of the things, the way we speak. We're going to cover all of that. We're going to start with the CEO method of enrollment. I've used this for the 21 years I've been a coach now. When I first started coaching, I had to explain to people that my kind of coaching didn't involve a ball or a field. And they were like, what? And the niche back then was life. Yeah, I'm a life coach. Oh my gosh, have things changed since then? So, first of all, let's talk about the CEO method of enrollment. So, when we talk about enrolling people, how do you feel? Somebody just type it in the chat. Also, let's get the chat. Oh, the chat is going. Yay. Let me open it. I didn't have mine open. It's opportunities. Oh, was the sound not working? I don't know. I think it's working. Okay. Yes, Lisa loves enrollment, and it shows in your essence, in your presence, in your energy when you are making offers. So the CEO method is 3, it's acronym as well. It's very easy to remember. The first thing we want to do is connect. Sales begin with connection, and that connection does not start with the buyer. It starts with you. Are you connected to who you are? Do you know your eco? Do you know what you stand for? Do you know your energy? That's your gold. And when you sell from your core values, people feel your certainty. You become magnetic. You don't have to explain, you just naturally lead. So C is connect. It starts with you. And then from there, we can find the right people who are looking for the solution that we uniquely offer. The E stands for engage, and that comes from your lived opportunities and your energy. Because how do you engage with people? Through story, through communication. So your delivery style is what creates trust for people. It's what has people say, I feel like she just gets me. You're engaging, but you're engaging in a meaningful way, a deeper way than just, oh, I'm marketing. I'm putting out my offer. Here's the 3 things it does for you. And here's when we meet. Right? And then the O, a lot of people leave the O off. So I want you to think for a minute. You meet someone, maybe you're out and about. Maybe this isn't online. Maybe it is. You connect, you engage in a conversation, and then you say, nice to meet you. Maybe you even exchange business cards if you're out somewhere, right? But you don't make an offer. You always want to have something to invite people to. It doesn't have to be paid. Maybe you're inviting them to join your Facebook community. Maybe you invite them to a training. But when you've already connected and you've already engaged, the thing we don't want is to see this person and go, I would love to get to know them more. Now I need to figure out how to reconnect with them. Just make an offer. Would you like to hop on a call and get to know each other? Would you like to join my community? Would you like to attend my training? If it's a potential client and you've engaged far enough where they're curious about your offerings, make an offer. So you're not convincing, you're inviting. Selling isn't about saying the right words. It's about becoming a person who is certain in who they are and what they sell and is so excited about it because you know it works. You have years of experience. You have clients who are thriving. Your business is providing great services in the market. I see this often. These amazing women, but they're not sure how to communicate how amazing they are because they're trying to market from a forced place. Okay, guess you have to do this, and then you have to do this other thing. And I'm only supposed to post this many times a day. And how many times should I email my list? And it just becomes about tactics. Are you guys feeling this? Drop an emoji if you are, because selling isn't about the right words. It's about selling with certainty, like I said, because you're in full alignment with your value and you share it openly. Okay, so we're going to move to the next piece, which is curate a community of buyers. And we're going to get into this. But first, I have a couple of women here. No more tactics, Diane, right? Just feelings. Yes. Excitement, Amy. Yes, love that. Thank you, Diane. Okay, I am bringing in a few of my clients because I want to show them off. They are amazing and they live what I'm sharing right now. So I'm going to bring up Patricia Selmo. She has decades of vast knowledge in multiple areas. I'll let her tell you about it. And she's gone from selling coaching or astrology to combining all of her wisdom into offerings that only a multidimensional entrepreneur like her could offer. And that brings all of her, and it makes her, as Russell Brunson would say, a category of one. So, Patricia, I'm going to unmute you. I'm going to mute myself and just give you the mic. Let me find you.
Got it.
Oh, thank you. Hi, go ahead.
So, how would you like me to start?
Tell us about what you do. Like, what's shifted for you as you began to really embrace all of you? And tell us a little bit, like, what were you doing? And then what has that transformed into now that you're really sharing all of who you are?
Okay. Yeah. So I think when I met you, Patty, I would say I was fractured sounds pretty drastic, but it was kind of that way where I felt very much like I had pockets of um, knowledge and wisdom and skills and experiences. And I'd spent a long time, like years, trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do? And not really, I'm definitely, a multi-passionate person. So not really wanting to let go of things and seeing that one of my skills is seeing patterns and seeing themes and seeing how things fit together. And I felt like everything went together. And so it was more of a how do I do this? Um, and there was some, kind of stumbling, I think, along the way. But what helped me by being part of your program was the really getting myself out there, I guess, like, really putting things out there. And even though maybe they weren't perfect at first, or even, maybe ever, I don't know, but they're always growing, right? Like, so it helped me to become really, really visible, and to really find my voice and my unique way of doing things and saying things and gaining clarity about who I am and what I offer and how I offer it. And so, yeah, so it's become kind of like it's just, yeah, it's blossomed, I guess. So,
Patricia, tell everyone like a little bit about all the pieces. Like, what's your background and how did those come together? It's really fascinating. I would love for you to share that.
so I was an aerospace engineer. I worked at NASA. I worked on the space shuttle, the space station. I did that for many years, and then I got into technology. And I was mostly when I was in technology, I was in management. So I did a lot of like IT management type stuff, and then I did some consulting around that. But all along the way of this very kind of mainstream left brain career path that I was on, was this other, I just used to call her the other Patricia because she was into, magic and astrology and tarot and esoteric things and metaphysics and spirituality. And I could never, at that time, I felt like I could never let those two meet. I could never let, one Patricia's world meet the other Patricia's world. They have to be separate. I was a single mom. I was worried if people found out, how witchy woo I was. I'd get fired. I wouldn't be able to raise my daughter. I had all these, whether they were true or not, I don't know, but that's how I felt at the time. So they were very separate things, and it got to a point where I just couldn't, like, I couldn't take being two people because I wasn't. I was one person, and I felt like those, I should be able to be one person. And so it's been a process of unpeeling the layers or blending them, if you will. And I feel like the last few years have really just been kind of the solidification of that, where I really no longer, I mean, even as in during COVID is when I did my first like website that combined coaching and astrology. And I made my Facebook page. And I remember being terrified that the minute I went live with it, there would be people from my neighborhood or my community knocking on the door with the wood to build the pyre to burn me on, like and it didn't happen. And in fact, when I announced it on Facebook, some of those people were like, "Congratulations, Patricia." So, so it's just been like, "Oh, okay, this is okay." And then, continuing to kind of take another step and, "Oh, this is okay." And, kind of growing into being more visible and being able to communicate and being able to bring all of these aspects of myself into one thing until I think now with you, Patty, like it's just really coalesced. It's just really kind of like, okay, here we are. Here's what it is. I no longer have any kind of fear or concern or what will people think? What will the people I used to work with think? Like I had so much of that, and it's just gone, and now I just post and I get feedback, and sometimes from people I'm not expecting it from in a positive way. Like it's just amazing. And so it's really helped me um, to really just get out there more and become more myself and really just kind of own that and put it out there as strongly as possible.
I just love who you are. I love what you offer. I love what's coming. It's so exciting. And thank you for sharing because I think a lot of women feel that way. Like I have to compartmentalize my different things, right? So thank you, Patricia. Can you just feel her presence? She's not like trying to say the right thing. She's just being herself. Can you guys feel her? It's so beautiful. And I know all of you have that same thing inside of you. So shout out to Patricia. Thank you, Patricia. Okay, so let's go into curating a community of buyers. So once you're bringing all of yourself to the market, and I see several of you saying, multidimensional entrepreneur, that's me. That explains me. I hear that often. And so it's not that you want to just get a bunch of leads and sell things. It's that you want to find the right people and build a community that grows and that people stay in long term. This is not a turn 'em burn 'em kind of philosophy, right? You want to curate a community of buyers, people who can't wait for your next offer, People who can't wait to see your next email are looking for your posts in the morning. And that's because when you are creating your business from that space that reflects who you are, it's very magnetic. That's what we're in the middle of my 30-day challenge. Many of you are in it and resonate. That's what causes that resonance, right? It should feel like you've designed this boutique storefront just for the right people, not for anybody. It's just for those people that you would love to serve and who would get so much value from you. When you sell from that place, your clients don't leave. They stay with you. They want the next thing. They bring their friends. They talk about you and they share what they're learning. So curating this community is really, it's, I like to call, like, we use Facebook groups. You can curate your community. I have one client who's doing it on Slack. It doesn't matter. It could be your email list. I want you to get the philosophy, right? But when you curate this community, think of it as your boutique high-end storefront. So when people come to my Facebook group, they are greeted with my, customer service, me, my customer service. And the customer service, if you go into a high-end boutique, you're usually greeted by someone who says, "How can I help you? Are you looking for anything special today?" That's the same thing you can do when you curate a community. "No, I'm just looking." "Okay, great. Let me know if you have any questions." That's one way the conversation could go. You can do that in your questions, in your Facebook group, in your email, in your Slack community, wherever you're building it. Um, or maybe they say, "Yes, I'm looking for a silk blouse." "Oh, the silk blouses are right over here. Is there a particular color you want? Want me to pull some off the rack for you?" Right? That's good customer service. I want you to think of that when people first meet you and join your community. So you can do that in your Facebook group or, wherever with a set of questions. And when someone answers the question and says, "I'm looking for this," now you have the opportunity to say, "Oh, I have a sample of that right over here. Would you like to see it?" So in my Facebook group, that's called the guides. And my questions address the 5 guides I have, the 5 pillars in my business. One of them is curate a community of buyers. So if somebody says, "I'm interested in curating a community of buyers," I can say, "Oh, I have a training on that. Would you like me to send you the link?" And they will say, "Yes, I would like that." And then you can send them the link. So now you're beginning to build a relationship the minute they walk in the door. And when they walk in the door, they've become a VIP member of your community. And from here on out, that's how you treat them. It's a totally different experience than what most people feel when they join a Facebook group. Who's going to pitch me? How many DMs am I going to have? Now, do I message people? Absolutely. I message them and say, "Welcome, welcome to our community. How can I help you? I see you're interested in curating a community of buyers. Would you like me to send you a link to the training?" Right? I can say that right in Messenger. And then I can tag them in the training. Hang on just a minute. There's no promoting in here, so I got to delete this comment. There we go. All right. Is this making sense? And if it is, how does that make you feel to think of your email list, your Facebook group, your Instagram group, whatever, LinkedIn, you can do it anywhere, as your boutique storefront rather than a list you have to promote to? Yeah, it is a good reframe, Diane. It's a different way of seeing it. Awesome, Michelle, you love that. Yeah, because now we don't feel like, "Ooh, I gotta go sell to these people. How do I, what am I going to do for my launch?" No, the minute people join, you're building a relationship and now you're in community with them. And when you offer something like when I offered this, um, it's okay, Sandy, no worries. Um, yeah, meet each other. It's just no promoting. Um, when when they are, I lost my train of thought. Come into the group and rather than like trying to schedule a launch, when you're doing something like this free training, then I can message people and say, hey, I'm doing this training. Would you like to attend? How many of you are part of some sort of boutique, maybe clothing store, makeup, whatever? And they'll send you a notification. Hey, we're having this special event. Would you like to attend? And so you're thinking of it like that. Right. You're not spamming them. You're not saying, here's the link to my training and then just leaving them. You're staying engaged in a conversation. So you're starting by saying, I'm doing this thing. Here's the benefit. Would you like more information? So I'm not just throwing information at them because then they feel like, right? We need a two-way conversation. And then some people will say no. Some people will say, not now, I'm busy, but thank you. Tell me next time. And some people will say, yes. When is it? And that doesn't mean, okay, now I'll send the link. It means, oh, it's Friday at noon Pacific. That's all I would say. And then they can say, oh, great. Yes, I do want the link. Right? Do you see how we're breaking this down into a reasonable conversation rather than just like, how do I get my stuff out? This is your luxury storefront. They aren't just throwing themselves out there, right? And this is when we talk about a curated community, this is not a catch-all container, right? This is not um, a normal Facebook group. It's a luxury storefront. I'll leave it there. And it's a sales environment. Because when people join this type of a community, they want to be sold to. They've raised their hand, they've answered those questions. And when you set your questions up, really showcasing what you do without selling, people lean in. The reason people lean back is because they feel like they aren't in a conversation, they're being like talked at, right? So we want to make sure that in the CEO method, connect, engage, offer, we're really holding that engagement with them and we're giving them a back and forth conversation. And we're also teaching them how we sell. So I see a lot of people selling this way, selling that way. I'm going to try this. I'm going to, email my list every day that I'm not going to email for a month or whatever it is. But every time you change how you sell, you have to re-teach your audience. You're teaching your audience how to buy from you. Think about the things that you buy. You know how that works, right? Maybe you bought something on Instagram, you go to the app to renew it. But you don't go to the app one time and then, oh, I have to go through my email another time and, oh, I got to answer a mail in snail mail or, go onto their website. You're training your future clients how to buy from you. And it starts the minute they request to join your group. Is this making sense, you guys? Amy, I love it. I can see stepping into that energy. When you said, who do I love to serve? That caused me to pause. I think that's my stuck piece. I'm not sure who I want to serve. So serving the list rather than the who is really feeling that. Awesome, Amy. And it's there. Usually, is that exactly what I said to you? Oh my gosh, that's not a surprise because it's so easy and natural. Um, and as far as like feeling into who you want to serve, it's like, who do you love to be around? Who do you love to help? And what part of you in the past, right? Where were you? Where are those people that are maybe somewhere similar, right? So for me, I've had the Entrepreneur Unleashed now for 21 years, but it's been a steady journey and sometimes a roller coaster along the way. And so as I've learned, I just turn around and I teach what I've learned. When I first started, I just helped other coaches get clients. That's all I did because they were asking me how I was getting clients. And I didn't realize, but what I'm teaching you today is exactly what I was doing. I was connecting, I was engaging, I was making offers in a friendly, non-salesy way, right? That's what's natural for me. So the question is, what's natural for you and who do you love? So you want to make sure that you are selling in a way that's consistent and that you feel like you can sustain over time. So one thing might feel like a really great idea, but then I really don't want to do this anymore. That's hard. That's a hard business to maintain, right? So, okay. So this is curating. And when we go back to your E code, I want you to always start from there, your core values, your opportunities, your purpose, and your energy. And I use the Enneagram for energy. So, for instance, I'm an 8 with a 7 wing. I am an enthusiastic challenger. I will challenge you, and I'm so enthusiastic about it. And I know that that's my natural personality style. Do you know your natural personality style? When you use that, people are like, there was just something about you. It's because you're being real. Michelle's a 6 with a 5, the loyalist, and the it's not, I don't want to call it the skeptic. They're like the analyst, right? So that's a great thing to know that you are loyal. So a curated community for you would be excellent because you're gonna want to help them. You're gonna question things. You can be the advocate. You can bring things to them. Enneagram 3, Diane she is meant to just get things done, right? The achiever. So other achievers, just looking at this one little piece of her E code, the energy piece, other achievers will be drawn to you. They'll be like, there's my girl, look at her go. And if you know Diane I know you from Facebook, I see that, I feel that in you. You get things done. Like you're someone that I could trust to get things done if I was looking for somebody to help me there, right? So a 1 with a 2 wing, you're the reinventor and I won't go all into the Enneagram. I kind of started to already. I'll stop there, but I wanted to illustrate how these pieces of your E code are the foundation of everything. So when you create or curate your community, you first want to set the intention. Who is this for? And who it's for is found in who you are. Who it's for is found in who you are, not what everybody's telling you. Right? So who's this for? And then what's the promise? What's the promise? Look for that in your purpose. My purpose, I know my purpose. It's the practical application of your gifts. I help people bring their gifts that are like spiritual, purpose driven gifts into form. It's all over anything that any kind of assessment shows about me. So that's my promise. I'll help you turn that gift of yours into a business that thrives. So, what's your promise? Look at your purpose there. The answer's there. And then, what's the very first step once they join? We covered that, right? The questions. You want to be strategic about that. What do you want to showcase? What do you want to bring to them? What kind of trainings, when a client comes to me and sets up their Facebook group for the first time, we just do a training a week. We choose their 5 pillars. My 5 pillars are the process I take people through. It's easy. It's connect with yourself first and then your clients. That's where the E code lives. Create your offer suite. Curate your community of buyers. Captivate them with social media that sells and close. And I teach automation in different ways to do sales, right? So those are also my questions and they're also my guides. And you can do the same thing. What's the process you take people through? And so, what's the first step when they join? Getting them into something that shows them who you are and what you do. You really want the energy when they come in. You want them to feel like, oh, I feel comfortable here. This is interesting. This is about whatever your culture for your group is. What is your culture? So set the intention, get clear about the vibe, the energy, the leadership you'll be sharing, and your positioning. Okay, so that's step one. And then step two is to actually create it. Make sure that your group has keywords in it. Now we're going to get into like the mechanics, magnetic, keyword rich name, a clear description about the group with a strong identity hook. Identity. What does this person, how does this person see themselves now? And how do they want to see themselves once they've achieved what they're looking to achieve? Get yourself some branded visuals that really reflects that. Many people are visual. Think about how you're going to write, address people's learning styles. If you drop audios, have you guys listened to my nuggets? They're daily nuggets. They're on my website, pattykeating.com. And they're just a free daily nugget where it's like a minute and a half. And then I take those and I can put a video over the top of my voice and put it in my group, put it in many places. But the people who learn through audio and want to hear my voice, they're going to remember that. That's going to really resonate with them. So make sure you've got your visuals and your written word and your auditory learnings available for people. Make sure you have your group rules and communicate your standards, not just logic. Like people are striving for a new set of standards when we're growing. And this really sets the tone and it will filter out who joins. You won't get the people who are just coming in to spam, right? Or how is this a group I can post in? Because I'm going to post in 25 groups every single day. I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, you can, but we're not your jam. Carry on. Be exclusive about who you let in. Take your time and assess the person. When they apply to join, look at their profile. If they're a good fit, like I said, welcome them. Again, this is not about more, this is about quality. And when you build this way, you'll be engaging with everybody from day one. And they will be looking for you to communicate with them. Okay, and then step three is kind of the same, but that's where you curate the people. It's about intentionally inviting the aligned members. These people need to feel seen, served, and ready to go deeper. Your intention in your community is for people to want to go deeper with you. That's it. In conversation, especially. So, how do you do that? By creating a vibe, right? By setting that intention. People will feel it the moment they join. It feels like a room full of future clients. And it's like, oh, look at these people. Here's my people, right? Include your clients in the group. So when I do 30-day sprints or different little events, I invite people during those sprints. We're doing Resonate right now. Um, to post in the group. So they're doing these assignments, different things to practice resonating with their ideal clients. And I'll say practice in the group, post it in the group, right? So people are doing work inside the group. They're able to show off what they're doing. Other members are seeing it. They might be interested in Resonate. It's a true community. And so really build that out and make sure that you're including, this is not just, okay, this is a lead gen strategy. And once you're in, the group's not for you. We have this other group over here for you. Not that you can't have other groups for your paid clients. I do, but include everyone in your community. And then again, I'll just have to reiterate, design a welcome experience that activates their trust and creates desire. It really deepens their desire. Ooh, I like her. There's something about her. I want to know more. That's it. That's your entire welcome experience. You can design it however you want. There's no right way. The way is to create the experience your way. And then step 4, once they're in, um, don't just, I know I said to message them, but also call them in, right? As they're joining, maybe you've got a welcome post, maybe you do a video, maybe you tag them in the video, maybe during your training that week, if you're doing weekly trainings and filling up your guides at first, or maybe you're just doing them ongoingly, mention them when they come in, recognize them, and let them know that you see them. Post with purpose. It's not just, okay, what am I going to post in my group today? I've got my topics that I've got on my Trello board that I bought for $12 on some like Instagram sales page that got these, daily topics, motivation Monday, tipsy Tuesday, don't do that. I mean, if you're doing that, it's fine, but take it a little deeper. Show up as a leader, not just a content creator. Is this making sense? Qualify your people to start real conversations. That's what your group's about. Connecting in your boutique storefront. Okay, so let's see. I've got a bunch of notes. Let me make sure I've covered everything. Oh, yeah, I want to highlight one more thing. Make sure that you are showing them around. We talked about it like the silk blouses, they're over here. You can put things in your group like um, just a reminder this week if you're looking for and name the title of your 3 to 5 guides, they're here, and maybe put a training. You could do it every day for a week. I've done little sprints like a 5-day event and then pin that post and put the link to every single day at the top. I've even put that on my profile and had people come join my group from it. But think about how you can involve the newer people. Maybe they weren't there for those trainings. So now you can bundle them into something. Even if you didn't do it as an event the first time, maybe you've got 5 trainings in there and you could call it something and invite them to watch it. You've probably got enough content. What you need is more connection. And how can you reuse what you've been teaching? So, really highlight what you have available. Again, think about stores, right? They don't necessarily always get new product, they're just highlighting different things that they have available. Okay. Also, this whole process of communication with people in your community, wherever it may be hosted, can be simple or it can be dynamic. For instance, I use a Chrome extension that when people answer the questions and give me their email, it takes them over to my email server and it sends them a welcome email. And then it sends them a similar message to the one I sent them via Messenger saying, oh, I see you're interested in, connecting with ideal clients. Here's a link to a training inside the community. Let me know if you have any questions about it or what you learn, right? So I'm also able to then reach them. When you automate, you can reach them through your email service provider. And, some people don't read Messenger. Some people don't read their email. So you're having the opportunity to reach them on multiple formats. Some people read both, and it reiterates that you're there and you've got this training for them. So you can get as fancy as you like with this. You can set up messages, automate them. That's what I do when I do events. Many of you got a message, and that's why you're here. Hey, I'm doing this thing. I'm inviting a few of you. You want to come? Okay. So, VIP experience, and you want people to feel like they have a high level of attention right from the beginning, but it doesn't mean you're working hard at it. It's that you're so clear about your structure and your process that it makes it easy. Like what I do is easy. And when you do this, your group, your community can become your highest converting sales channel because you're really building relationships. So if you're interested in Curate a Community of Buyers, I have a training on it. You can message me and I can send you a link to check that out, or it's included in our Unleash Your Revenue Academy, which is weekly trainings for 6 months. We every training, every 4 or 5 weeks, we start a new training in my process. You can also model how I'm doing my business as I'm showing you. Okay, we're gonna move into the closing the gap method, but first I want to bring up, I don't, is Katrina here? Let me see. I don't see her. Okay, I don't think, I know she was maybe not going to be able to make it, but we do have, hold on, another incredible woman for you to meet. And her name is Karen Calday. She brings two powerful forces together: a deep devotion to meaningful soul level relationships and her wisdom in plant medicine and healing. And what she has created is more than a business, it's a liberation. She's helping women break free from those constraints that kind of keep us from maybe completely opening our heart, maybe keeping love a little bit at the distance. Her work is rooted in, I would say, emotional depth, energetic clarity, and most of all, embodiment, which she models beautifully. And I know you'll feel the power of what happens in her work when you meet her. So, Karen, I'm going to unmute you and give you the mic. Tell us a little bit about what's shifted for you and the work you do. And I am going to, oh, I have to ask you to unmute.
Got
Did
it.
you?
Yeah, I'm all set. Thanks. It's funny. I was thinking about, I don't even remember how we first connected, but I know that we both went to IPEC, and so it was probably something related to that. But I'll say that, I'd been, I started as a psychologist and ended up getting into relationship coaching, and the work was coming, but just not very regularly, not that predictably. And I had joined some other business programs, but they just didn't offer the kind of support that I really needed. And then I had a couple really, really major events happen in my life this last year, and my daughter got super, super sick. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna really need some more support through this. I was already kind of looking as it was, but knew that I'd really need people to hold me accountable and make sure that I didn't just kind of leave the business to put that aside, because it would have been really, really easy to do at that point. Um, but joining the group has helped me. Not only am I learning from Patty, but I'm also feeling really supported by the others in the group. And that has been really amazing. And I think one of the biggest shifts for me is because, being a psychologist and being a relationship coach is, it's respectable work, right? And but I knew the power of plant medicine, and I got licensed in Oregon, so I actually can do it legally. But it's still such a sensitive topic, and I know that it can be very divisive. And yet, um, I feel like all throughout my life, I used to be such a good girl and a rule follower, and I was the good daughter and the good sister and the good student and the good, wife and blah 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 blah. And as I've gotten older, as probably a lot of you have as well, I've learned that, those rules don't often serve us. And the rules around psilocybin, which is specifically the plant medicine that I work with, the psychedelic compound in magic mushrooms. It's like that's also I see how life-changing it can be. There are a lot of rules around it, but there's some of them are so arbitrary, or it comes from politics and all kinds of other things. But I've seen um, the impact that is made on people's lives and how dramatically it can help people transform. So I knew that here. And so it still took time for me to be able to say that in more than a whisper. But now I'm like seeing how I can combine those two things so beautifully and how they amplify one another, that relationship work and then that plant medicine work. And, Patty's helped me really kind of step into that and then own this new program that I've created specifically around microdosing, and for women that really works with their hormones. It can support that hormonal transition as well. So just these, really affects people in multiple ways. And so now I'm able to talk about that with a lot more confidence. And I speak about it out loud. I still have to be a little careful just because of the social media demons don't want you talking about some of these things. But I'm out and I'm proud for sure. And just keep on leaning into um, being able to own it and not, be a rule breaker to be a rule breaker, but to break the rules when they just don't make sense anymore. So I think that is really where I've come to, um, with the help of Patty and this group. And then I know I'm just super excited to keep going with this. I just started a program for women who want to try what I call rhythm dosing, as well as learn how to protect their energy, because as women we tend to be such givers, and as again I'm sure a lot of you know, that can really drain us, and it affects not only our sense of happiness and well-being, but our relationships too. So I'm helping women do that. So excited to keep going with that and to share my message about rhythm dosing with people, but then, possibly step into other kinds of healing, medicines. And because I also love to work with couples. And so again, it's all about relationships in the end. So yeah, that's my new jam. And it feels really good to embrace it.
Thank you, Karen. Can you guys just feel her like presence? Like she's bringing all of her to the table. And as she does that, things are emerging. Bye, guys, that have to pop off. Um, Things are emerging that you can't see until you allow yourself to fully embrace all of you. And you can hear that in her. I mean, can you? I can. Can you guys hear her? Like passion around these two things and how they're coming together. Give her some love. Oh, I see you already are. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Karen. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the closing the gap method. So people don't buy because they want something. They buy because they believe that they're the kind of person that gets to have it. That's different than what we might think about why people are buying. It's the identity gap, and your job is to close it. Your audience sees your offer and they think, oh, maybe someday I'll do that. I'd love to, but I'm not quite ready yet. And they're not hesitating because they don't want it. They're hesitating because they don't believe they're the kind of person who gets to have it yet. It's identity. And this is where your message comes in. Your message is not to convince, It's not to push, it's to reflect back to them who they're becoming, to show them subtly, consistently, clearly, who they are on the edge of becoming. And when your content shifts from teaching what you know how to do to showing them who they're becoming, everything changes. And this is the work of belief-based marketing, because your job is not to prove your offer. So many people come to me and they'll say, I have these really great offers and my clients are getting results. And I'm telling people, all the things about it, and they're not buying because they're speaking about the offer, not the identity shift. So it's not to prove your offer, it's to nurture their future identity. Right as if they already believed. Invite them into um, curiosity. A good way to do that is just to start with the word imagine and write about the outcome. Show them what becomes possible once they see themselves differently. I had a client and she was saying, I keep hearing from people, I can't afford it. Oh, I don't have the money for that. And I didn't tell her to change our price. I didn't tell her to add urgency. What we did is we shifted her message to reflect who her people were becoming, not where they are or where they'd been. So she started saying things for the woman who already knows she's meant for more. She started posting about the future identity. And within a week, she got 3 clients. She didn't change her content. She changed the way she spoke about it. Again, you need to change the identity that it's speaking to. If you're speaking to people who are broke and can't afford it, guess who you're going? That's what you're going to reinforce. If you're speaking to people who maybe their bank account doesn't have a lot of money in it right now, but they know that they are going to crush it in their business. And their mindset is about, how do I crush it in business? I got some goods I'm going to sell. Like, I'm going to help, I'm going to serve. And they're looking for that type of messaging. They're going to come to you. Can you see how that applies? Tell me in the chat, what's landing for you? Okay, we're going to dive into feature, benefit, aspiration. Yes. Okay, while you do that, we've got one more segment, and that is the 8 components of a presentation that sells. When you speak, whether it's live, whether it's a webinar, whether it's a reel, you're either creating belief for a person or you're reinforcing doubt. And going back to your E-code, that helps you dismantle these 3 big objections. Okay? These objections are innately in us when we purchase something. The internal question, many times it's based on fear, self-trust, doubt, and it sounds like this. I'm not sure I can do this. Have you guys ever felt that way? Like you want to make a big investment and move forward in your business. And you're like, I don't know if I don't know if I'll actually do it. I don't know if I have what it takes. This is an internal objection. So when you apply this to your E-code, you can talk about your opportunities, your stories, your experience, and show your own doubt and how you grew through it. Let them see the version of you that started before she was ready. Okay, we're going to dive a little deeper. I want to tell you the second type of objection is an external objection. I don't have the time right now, or I don't have the money right now. Okay, so when when people have an external objection right that like that, you let me get an example. I've got one right here. You're really helping them move through doubt. Like, I really don't have time. I'm slammed right now. And many times people will tell you the objection, which is actually the solution to the thing to the answer they're seeking. So many times, if people don't have time, it's because of how they're using their time. It's not an objection, it's a reason to move forward. Or, I don't have the money. Well, are you making money? No. Maybe that's the reason you should do this so that you can make the money, right? A lot of times those external objections, they're coming from the references that people see in their physical reality. But if they want to get to the future, they have to change their belief system. But the doubt is what is in the way. So with, you're meeting them with their future self, their future identity. Okay, so, oh, and then the third one is the problem. And the problem is something like, well, I've done this before and it didn't work for me. They see what you're offering as a problem, but really what they're seeing is the problem that it hasn't worked for them. So they're looking backwards rather than forwards. So when we're going through these um, sorry, I'm looking for my note here. These 8 components, I'm going to take you through these 8 components. Make sure you're applying these 3 questions that people are having inside their mind as they are considering working with you. So when you're speaking, we're going to also apply the CEO method to this. So all of these things I'm teaching, they're in all of the pieces of marketing and that you're doing. But the first component is to ask a powerful question. The most powerful questions start with the word what. Why? Because it creates a picture in your mind. People have to think about it. You can't just go no. You have to think about the answer. So I like to ask the question, what's the most important thing for you to create in the next 90 days? The second component is your story. Who are you and why should they listen to you? And that's where you're illustrating that transition from the old identity to the new. Share a story of how you moved from where they might be to where they want to go. The third component is a case study. Bring on a client, share a win, show how someone has done what they want to do. That gives them hope, it feeds their desire. And then the fourth one, and these are in no particular order, is your steps. So you want to teach 3 to 5 steps. And an easy way to teach, if you're thinking about, oh gosh, I have to do a training, I need PowerPoint slides, I have to bring in this piece and that piece and supporting documentation. Just teach this. What, why, how, story. Right? What is curating a community of buyers? What is captivating your audience? Why is it important? How do you do it? And let me share an example. You can do that anytime, anywhere without a script. You want to seed your offers into your presentations. Everything I'm teaching today comes from my Unleash Your Revenue program, which is also delivered in my Unleashed Mastermind. That's a seed. And it's easy. You don't need a script. You can say, everything I'm teaching today comes from and just share it, right? So these components are important because these will show you how to talk, whether you're being interviewed for a podcast or exchanging interviews in a community or speaking live at a networking event or taking the stage at a bigger event. All of these components work together so that you can deliver your talk without step-by-step PowerPoints. Not that PowerPoints are bad, you can have one, but you don't have to memorize things. You don't have to script things. You'll have these components. And then the next component is engage, of course, engage your audience. How do you engage your audience? Ask them questions. After you've taught a step, ask them to maybe turn to the person next to them if they're live and share what they just learned. Or if they're virtual, have them put it in the chat. What are you guys learning today? Drop it aha right now from our time together so far. When I say that to you, I'm engaging with you and I'm curious, I really want to know. Curiosity is a great attribute to use when you're doing this. And then the let's see, seventh is your offer. Make sure you tell them about the benefits of your offer if you're making one. And from a place of identity, not the features. And then finally, your close. Give them something to do. What's the one next step when you're finished? Join me here next week for the training in my community, or, click on this link to buy the thing if you want to buy the thing that I offered to you. Give people the next step. I can't tell you how many times, and you've maybe experienced this like me, where I've been interested in something and then I'm confused at the end, like, oh, I really was curious about maybe doing something, but I don't know what to do. Oh, well, I'll just wait, right? You're losing money there if you're not giving people a clear next step. So these are your 8 components, all based in your E code. And you can use them, like I said, really in all of your speaking. When you grow a business in alignment with your E code, resonance becomes inevitable. It allows you to embody all of who you are. And this next client I'm going to bring up is a powerful example of that. Lynn Wiltshire is a force. She's been a life coach for over 20 years, a professional dancer, and a beloved dance instructor. She healed herself twice and now leads with a depth and joy that is unmistakable. When she is what she's created blends her passion for dance, for performance, and for transformation into a business that supports women who've lost their zest. She helps them reclaim their vitality and become fully alive again. Her presence is magnetic, and I'm so excited for you to experience this. Welcome, Lynn.
Oh, thank you, Patty. That's so sweet of you to share all that. Yeah, we met back 20 years ago when I started a company called Lifeline Coaching and Education, and you ended up coaching with us. You were coaching with my partner, and you ended up coaching for our company. You were always such a success, um, a smart lady, a successful lady, and um, I don't know how exactly, but I believe I was on a call with you. You were doing some kind of call with a group of people. And I don't think success really doesn't speak in words. It speaks in leadership, substance. It speaks in measure. And I just noticed that you were really supportive on that call. You were a great listener. And I've been watching you for 20 years. Obviously, I mean, I know your kids, I know your boys when they were so young. And I've just been watching you grow and change lives for 20 years. So you're this great mother, you're this great leader, and you've always been on the cutting edge of technology and people development. And for me, I've always hired a coach when I was up against it, and I really wanted to create something big and be creative and change lives. I've always hired a coach, and I just thought that it was going to be a really good fit because I can't see my own blocks, I can't see my own limitations, and I noticed um, that I could hire you, and I really believed that there was something magical. I don't know what it was. I just thought that there was something magical that could happen. And I think what I notice now since I've been working with you now for a couple years, actually we've been working together. Um, it's been so incredible because you're a coach, I'm a coach. I understand so much about the coaching industry. However, like I said, I can't see my own blocks and I wasn't getting the clients that I wanted. And I'm getting clients now, like I'm getting clients. And I've set up this company that I'm proud of. I have a systematic approach to it. You listened to me and you helped me. I'm connecting with people in a new way, a very simple way, yet it's very effective. Um, I'm being challenged by you, uh, challenged by my thinking. And always when you challenge me, something better comes out, something bigger comes out, like it just happens. And you and I've tried things. What I've also really recognized about working with you is that we've tried some things and changed them, and then we've reinvented them and captured them in a different way, but we've always kept the core meaning of what I wanted and my dream to come out. And through our time together, you've just reminded me over and over again that my dream needed to be heard. That's getting kind of choked up. It needed to be heard, right? Like, oh, like this is something powerful that everybody else needs to hear. And I believe that now. I really believe that what I have is something good. So I'm super excited to share everything that I've learned. And I'm thankful for this opportunity. But in order to go with what I'm doing right now, you have to kind of go with the past. And you kind of said that, I'm a keynote speaker and author, and I've been coaching for 25 years. And the name of my powerful program, or I'm the creator of the Vitality Edge Graceful Aging Powerful Living community. And I help people transform their lives. And, after contracting cancer, not once, but twice, um, I decided to heal myself without chemotherapy and radiation. And I discovered this whole new path and I discovered this new journey. In 2020, I went back to the Hippocrates Health Institute and studied and learned and mastered a way of really radiating the body from the inside out. And I took all this learning and all this knowledge and all this experience and put it into this program. And what I'm passionate about is performance, right? I started dancing when I was 10. I started teaching at 12 years old. My teacher noticed something in me and I started teaching when I was 12. I was professionally dancing by the age of 14. I've been performing my whole life. I've been in pageants and I've owned my own dance competition. So performing has always been there for me. So after being on this journey for 15 years, I became very aware of the aging process, right? Like one thing's for sure, we're not getting any younger, right? Well, not necessarily, but we can get younger metabolically. So with my background in dance and the performing arts, I just realized that it's very important to create ourselves anew all the time. But how do you do that with there's so much, I don't know, news out there. There's so many gurus out there, and I don't think necessarily, I don't think I know that not every one of them is living it, right? Like there's a difference when you start living your passion and bringing it to the world. So, this is a place where women learn courageously how to step into themselves at this age, their vitality, their energy, their abundance, their well-being. And most of us have this knowing inside of us. We have this thing that we want to do, just like I had. I understand what that feels like to have something come out of you and you don't know how to get it out, because we get tangled up in unhelpfulness and unhealthy choices. We become moms, we're choosing poorly, we're giving to our families. And I really want to help women stop ignoring that nudge, stop ignoring that intuitive um, nudge, and stop that belief that I'm too old or I don't have that time. That feeling inside isn't going to go away, because if you're thinking about it, you were coded to do it. You were coded for it, right? There's a reason for that. It's muscle memory. So when you don't change something, you're actually choosing it. So maybe you're an athlete. Maybe you were an athlete. Maybe you were a dancer, a gymnast. Maybe you were a jazzercise queen. Maybe you were, um, I don't know, on stage, an actress, or whatever it is. Whatever called you when you were younger, you still have that within you. That muscle memory is still there. You don't lose that when you're a performer. When you have that edge once in your life, you don't lose it, and you really want that to come back. And I want to help people relive some of that energy and that vitality in a new way. Listen to that desire, and also listen to the contrast, that contrast of what you're not getting, because that's powerful too, right? The vitality edge is really for women who are ready for a comeback. That's what it really is. Um, it's not a pause in life. It's really a remembrance. That's what it is. It's a reignition of who you are today. But anyway, I just wanted to leave you with that I'm doing things. I'm getting clients. I'm actually stepping into my magic, and I've developed a system that is going to help thousands of people around the world. It's not a pause during this time. It's just a go for it.
Thank you so much, Lynn. And I know you can see what we've been talking about. She's bringing all of her into her business, all of the brilliance that she's accumulated over the years. She doesn't teach from theory, she speaks from mastery. Can you feel it? That's what makes her unforgettable. So let's recap what we learned today, or what we covered. You learned how to use your E-code to clarify your message, to connect with the right people, and to create a brand that really resonates deeply with you and with the people who you serve. We talked about what it means to curate a community of buyers instead of chasing leads. And you heard from a couple powerful women who shifted their identity, stopped playing small, and started leading from the truth of who they are. So now you're next. Maybe you're already doing it. Maybe you're not quite doing it yet. You can take everything you learned today and piece it all together. You've got the pieces. And if you want to go deeper with me, I can tell you, is it okay if I tell you about a space where this becomes how you do business, where it's not just information, it's transformation, where the E-code is your blueprint and your business feels like you, where you have support, strategy, and a circle of women who get it? Okay. So here is how. I have two things for you today. One is the Unleash Your Revenue Academy. It's where I provide trainings weekly. They're usually 4 to 6 modules. Next month, we're starting Unleash Your Speaking, and we meet live. So you get Q&A time. We apply what you learned. So this isn't just automated, or yeah, I'm going to talk and then never talk to you. I'm just going to teach. It's both. I want to make sure you're getting results. So if you want to increase your visibility, get really clear about your offer and your business, and you want the structure and the form to create it, Unleash Your Revenues for you. And it's my full marketing system: connect, create, curate, captivate, close. I've been teaching it for years. It comes with a complete training vault covering things like Facebook optimization, content, sales system, AI. There's a ton of trainings. And it comes with coaching and group coaching and Q&A. So if you're interested in that, drop a note and we'll also put the link in underneath this training. If you're already making money, but you're ready to lead in a bigger way through your identity, through your truth, through a premium brand, the Unleashed Mastermind is where you should go. It's the next step. It's a 12-month container. You heard from two of the people in there today. And it's for women creating a category of one business. They are multifaceted women, and they're creating boutique communities of buyers. You don't have to have a large number of buyers to make 6 figures, multi 6 figures, even into 7 figures. It doesn't take a lot of people. It takes structure, all the things we're talking about here today. You get a private e-code profiling session one-on-one with me. I do that with all my clients to uncover your true marketing and delivery style. We meet weekly for our calls. So you get that unleash your revenue. So you come to the trainings and then we meet to do check-ins. We look at what's working. We look at what's challenging you and we make commitments for the next week. What are you going to do about it, right? And then we come back and we do that every week. You get a lifetime access to my vault. It's a Kajabi vault with all my trainings in it. We have a private Voxer group where we chat and share advice, share wins, share challenges. And then we have 2 in-person retreats each year. Our next one's coming up in October. We go deep in our retreats. We have fun. We're meeting on day 1 at a beautiful Oregon vineyard for a spa day where we'll set our intentions. We'll get clear about what this retreat is going to create for us. And then we dive into the work. And if you want to join that, you still have time to come with us to Wine Country in October. We're going to do private coaching and really calibrate to that next level. So that's the mastermind. I'll drop an application. Take a look. Go check out the application. You don't have to commit to it. You don't have to, press submit. You can just kind of play with it, see what you think. You're welcome, Jennifer. Thank you for being here. You're welcome, Amy. And so I just want to say this isn't about my offer. It's about you seeing yourself in the business you love. Where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you really want to be? Do you want to be fully expressed, fully seen, fully paid for the brilliance you've been gaining for decades? Yeah. If so, the mastermind might be a great fit for you. Inside that group, you heard from the women today. They're here to share their truth, to really share their presence, share their power. This is what happens when we stop trying to fit in and start leading from who we really are. When we stop proving and start embodying, when we stop chasing these strategies and these tactics and, okay, here's the latest thing we have to do. And instead build your business from identity, from clarity, from alignment. You don't have to scream to be heard. You don't have to push to be chosen. You just get to be fully, unapologetically, completely you. That's what creates change. And I invite you to come along. Bye for now.